Robert, thank you so much. Let's bring in Melinda Herring, a senior fellow at the Atlantic Council's Eurasia Center, an international think tank. There's so much happening, Melinda. Good morning to you. The president wasting no time last night and in the morning hours for China, calling this conspiring against the United States. Strong language for the president, who has expressed that he and leaders like President Putin and Xi are on the same page and friendly with one another. What do you make of all of this after those comments?
Hey, Nick, great to be with you. So some are calling this a coalition of the killing, not a coalition of the willing. And I think that's a clever way to express what's going on here. Today we've seen China flexing its muscles and showing off new weapons. And it's saying, look, we're modernizing. You got to take us seriously. But we see all of America's adversaries getting together and cooking up plans. And this is a very scary image. The relationship between Russia and North Korea and what they've managed to do over the last year in Ukraine is frightening. North Korea is, to put it mildly, not a good player on the international scene, and it's learned a huge amount in the last year since it got in bed with the Russians in terms of its military technology. Who do you think that the North Koreans are going to use that technology against?
And talking about that technology, Melinda, many overseas, particularly the media, calling this a public push from the West as the leading nation. What other reaction do you expect from the White House?
So, Nick, I'm waiting to see if this tweet that you showed is a policy change. I think everyone in Washington is hopeful that this could be a policy change, but Donald Trump is an unusual president. He's not ideological, and it's really hard to figure out his foreign policy. So he's been really tough on Iran. He's talked a tough game on Putin, but he never follows through. He just blew through another 2-week deadline. After the Alaska summit, he said, give me 2 more weeks, and then I'm going to make a big announcement on Ukraine-Russia policy. There's no announcement. There's crickets from the White House. And we've seen other people in the Trump orbit say that he's frustrated with Putin and that he's going to start to flex America's muscle. We haven't seen that. We've also seen him be very friendly in weird, unusual ways with the leader of North Korea in his previous term. So, anything is possible with Donald Trump, but I think that the images we're seeing today from Beijing are scary. And we know that this administration is very focused on China and on countering Chinese influence and sees China as a threat. So I hope that this will wake them up and that they will announce some kind of very firm policy. But, again, anything is possible with Donald Trump.
Melinda, how can they settle this image of global leaders uniting in defiance of the United States to those uneasy Americans who are watching at home? Because you and I both know no one wants to be pulled into a potential conflict.
That's right. So the United States right now under Donald Trump is very focused on China. If you go to the Department of Defense, they're not focused on the war in Ukraine. They're not focused on Russia as an adversary. The top defense officials see China as the next threat to the United States, and that's what they're preparing for, Nick. But I would say to your viewers at home, the Russian threat is here and now. Those images we saw, cities burning, hospitals burning. Yesterday was 2 days ago was the first day of school in Ukraine, and we saw thousands of children underground, Nick. They're taking their classes in metro stations because Vladimir Putin is bombing Ukrainian cities. And even though Ukraine is 5,000 miles away, it affects us as Americans. If we don't stop Vladimir Putin in Ukraine, that war is going to come across Ukraine's borders into NATO territory where we're treaty bound to help them if Vladimir Putin were to attack. So I'd say for America's security, we got to end the war in Ukraine as soon as possible.
Melinda, quickly before I let you go, this parade with China, was that a win?
It's definitely a visual win. The big winner today, I think, is the leader of North Korea. He got on stage with China and Russia, and he looks like a big man. He's cuckoo, right? So he got to be on the world stage today and look like a major leader. It's definitely a visual win, and it should wake up America to say that China is modernizing in North Korea. All of our adversaries, Nick, are moving fast. Where are we? The Department of Defense is still thinking about how to integrate drones into its war strategy. Come on already. Let's speed this up. Our adversaries are not sleeping. Why are we?
Melinda Herring with a chilling message for the administration. Melinda, thank you so much.
Thank you for watching. Subscribe below and download our NewsNation app right now on your phone, and you will get fact-based, unbiased news for all Americans.